Evoland is a somewhat satirical adventure role-playing game, taking you on a journey through the history of the genre. Similarly to DLC Quest, you start out with basically nothing, not even an interface, or music, or anything. Quickly, you find some chests to add core mechanics to the game, and in no time, you're playing a Zelda-like adventure game, with your main character named Klink, who wears a green tunic and swings a sword. Early on, you only have one life, and if you take any damage at all, you die, going back to your last save point, as long as you've unlocked those. After you discover your first village and age up, you'll go out into the world, and no overworld is complete without random encounters. When doing random encounters, it goes from Zelda-like adventure combat to turn-based Final Fantasy-esque combat, complete with additional party member, Kaeris. Klink and Kaeris. Oh, and eventually you get a Buster Blade too. From the overworld, you'll enter dungeon sequences that play much more like Zelda adventure games again, but this time in 3D! One not quite dungeon area, however, has the ability to switch back and forth in time, creating some more interesting puzzle elements to the game that feels sorely missing from the rest. To round out the adventure role-playing experience, there's also a Diablo-esque dungeon, albeit without the furious clicking the genre is known for, as this game is designed entirely with controllers in mind. But make sure to read every single effect on all the gear you get. The gear tooltips are some of the best jokes in this entire game. Lastly, we can't riff on Final Fantasy games without a card-based minigame. It's basically just a triple triad from Final Fantasy VIII, and I'll dive into that more later this year, but the cards for the game are one of the main incentives to go exploring in the world in order to find them in chests. I've gotten every achievement for Evoland on Steam, and it's such an absolutely brilliant concept for a game. So why is it still in the high 200s? Well, that's because while it's a very cool idea, it's not actually very good at being any of the things it's imitating. It's great to see all of these evolutions, and there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor poking at the nostalgia of it all, but the execution on almost every level was lacking, especially when it's directly comparing itself to some of the most beloved games of all time. Still, it is great nostalgia and enjoyable in its own right, while being short enough to play through that most things don't overstay their welcome for the novelty of it all. Despite being a game based on imitating others, it's one of the most unique ideas I've ever played, and that alone is worth something.